Great Northwoods to the Rockbound Coast and streaming live in HD worldwide at foxbangor.com. More people choose Good Morning Maine.
Hello, everyone. Today on Good Morning Maine, a defense attorney in a manslaughter trial is arguing that doctors rushed to declare an inaccurate cause of death.
Plus, we'll see how several trails in Acadia National Park have been disturbed by vandals.
And we'll also have video footage of bison that were on the loose yesterday up in Fort Fairfield as they weaved through traffic.
Good morning and welcome to Good Morning Maine. I'm Emma Smith.
And I'm Craig Colson. Thank you for joining us. Looking forward to that bison video. Something else, something you don't see every day in Maine. We'll have that coming up. But first, we're going to check on the latest bout of winter weather heading this way. It looks like some snow will be developing later this morning, starting in southern areas first, then working its way up here. But it really shouldn't be that big of a deal.
At least it'll make it prettier.
Yeah.
We're at that phase where there's a lot of
cover up the dingy
snow piles.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Here's Devin Biggs with the forecast.
And thank you very much, Craig and Emma. Happy Tuesday. Your first weather forecast brought to you by Crosby Sports Shop. With a large supply of ammo in stock, custom Damascus knives, fishing supplies of all kinds, concealed weapons classes, and a full line of Dragonfly UV tackle, plus the latest in ultraviolet tackle. Call today. All right, let's get into things this morning. The winter weather advisories have been expanded. They've even issued a few winter storm warnings onto the south and west as well. Those winter storm warnings will expire Wednesday morning at around 4 a.m. The winter weather advisory until about 9 a.m., at least here in parts of Washington County. And further down to the south as well, more advisories continue to get issued as well. We'll at least pull up one of them right now. It looks like we're also dealing with a small craft advisory closer toward the shoreline, and that'll remain up until about 5 a.m. on Wednesday. And this right here is also a gale warning until about 9 p.m. as we head towards Tuesday. So later on tonight, in other words, though, so we do have some active weather that we do have our eye on. But for now, we're watching snow that's developing right now, tracking from the southwest, going to the north and east, moving in very slowly. So the western parts of the state will see this before noon today. Then Bangor by about the midday period, then everyone else afternoon will start seeing us moving in from the west going toward the east. Let's zoom things out and give you the bigger picture. Here's that system right here moving from the west going toward the east. We'll get some snowfall on the way before we're all finished up. So your hourly forecast for the rest of the morning and afternoon period, increasing cloud snow showers getting going during the afternoon period. Temperatures in the 20s. Your full 5-day forecast is coming up. Craig and Emma.
All right, thank you, Devin. We'll see you a little later on. The manslaughter trial of a Brewer man accused of killing his infant son began on Monday. A.J. Douglas heard from the defense attorney who argues doctors rushed to an inaccurate cause of death.
Monday, during opening statements, the prosecution and defense attorneys shared details surrounding the day Jaden Harding abruptly stopped breathing at only 6 weeks old.
Ronald Harding did not injure his son, and he did not kill his son. He is innocent.
She cradled Jaden and then handed him to Ronald Harding in the living room. She did not know that that would be the last time. Kayla, believing that Jaden was safe in his father's care.
Kayla Hartley, the mother of Jaden Harding, described Jaden as fine and being a normal baby. Yet in the matter of minutes, a routine school night getting her older children ready for bed, turning into a night spent at Northern Light Eastern Maine Medical Center in Bangor. Defense attorney William Ash says hospital notations indicate Jaden had trouble breathing in the days leading to his traumatic death.
Before we resort to pointing to the parent, every medical stone should be turned over, and in this case it wasn't.
Jaden was pronounced brain dead June 1st, 2021. Multiple medical professionals testified at the Penobscot Judicial Center in Bangor that Jaden suffered bleeding inside the brain, causing him to become unresponsive, determining that Jaden experienced brainstem dysfunction due to non-accidental shaken impact.
The doctors who tried to save Jaden's life will tell you that Jaden died of a devastating brain injury. The question is, how does a baby go in seconds from alert and healthy to unresponsive and limp?
The defense continues to argue that doctors did not consider any other possible causes for death and have wrongfully accused his client. In Bangor, A.J. Douglas, ABC 7 and Fox 22 News.
A Presque Isle man has been arrested on numerous charges, including domestic violence assault. Maine State Police say on February 14th, troopers responded to an Alton residence for what was reported as a stabbing incident between two males. During the investigation, troopers discovered there had not been a stabbing, but there had been a knife presented as a threat. Troopers found that Robert Bowring of Presque Isle had assaulted his ex-girlfriend, who also had a protection from abuse order against him. He was also on 2 sets of bail due to previous arrests during this incident. Police were initially unable to find Bowring, and after a few hours, troopers received another call from a resident who was concerned about a person in their chicken coop. Upon arrival to the chicken coop, there was no one inside, but there were fresh tracks in the snow back to the residence where the initial call was placed. After following the footprints, the trooper asked the victim to search the residence, and they found Bowring hiding in the attic. He was arrested and transported to the Penobscot County Jail, where he was booked on multiple charges, including domestic violence assault.
The National Park Service is investigating vandalism in Acadia National Park. They're looking for the person who sprayed red paint along several trails. The graffiti consisted of red blazes sprayed on trees, rocks, and rock formations. They were sprayed on Spring, South Ridge, Penobscot, Penobscot East, and Deerbrook trails. Park officials say the paint could confuse visitors who should be following the blue blazes, which are maintained by the National Park Service. The staff is now working to remove the paint, and people who have information about these crimes are encouraged to submit an anonymous tip or call the Park Service at 207-288-8791.
Emergency crews were called to the scene of a car crash in front of the Brewer High School just after 1 p.m. yesterday afternoon. Brewer police say a car driven by Robert Cameron pulled out of the high school parking lot, hitting an oncoming car. The driver of the oncoming car was transported to the hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. Cameron was treated at the scene. Investigators at the scene say Cameron will be cited for pulling out into traffic.
Bangor City Council has approved the new Tenants' Rights Ordinance. It's designed to protect renters from unfair fees and practices while helping to keep more people in their homes. Landlords will still be allowed to raise rent, but they'll have to give tenants 60 days notice. The measure also limits fees landlords can charge potential tenants for background checks and credit reports. That $75 fee can only be charged to people who become actual tenants and must be paid with the first month's rent.
In her visit to the Oxford Hills Technical School yesterday, Governor Mills presented a $15 million grant for several career and technical education schools, or CTEs, in Maine. It's part of her larger goal to preemptively boost the trades workforce by having high schoolers explore their options of hands-on careers, everything from becoming a chef to an EMT or a plumber. The governor says the $15 million will be spread across 4 CTEs, including Oxford Hills, and will help build new facilities or add to existing ones. Oxford Hills is receiving $2 million for a major upgrade.
We're looking at a building of approximately 6,000 square feet. It'll be right out here on this campus. We'll have 3 classrooms, shop space for plumbing and electrical.
But we have a lot of lawyers, accountants, real estate professionals, but try to find a plumber, electrician, a welder. Bath Iron Works is always looking. Help wanted signs are out.
Different. It's a lot different than learning in a classroom.
Under the Mills administration, the budget expanded funding for CTEs and touted a 300% increase in exploratory program enrollment for freshmen and sophomores. Her most recent plans are also designed to focus on middle school programs. Nearly 10,000 Maine students are getting a taste of the trades, with hopes they find a career path they like and are sticking with it.
According to Penobscot Community Healthcare, a pre-audit showed a nearly $4 million financial deficit accrued in 2022. That follows a financial gain in 2021 of $200,000. The healthcare company says that is due in large part to regular patient visits being down. Pre-pandemic, PCHC had about 65,000 regular patients per year. Currently, that number is down to around 60,000. The company says it is continuing to look at all areas of the business and working to ensure that they are focused on and able to meet their mission for the long term.
The Searsport wastewater facility has been awarded more than $2 million for upgrades. The announcement came from Senator Collins, King, and Representative Golden earlier yesterday. The funds came from the USDA's Rural Development Program and will be used to change Searsport treatment facility from a primary treatment facility to a secondary facility with tertiary treatment for disinfection. The investment will also be used to upgrade all 8 of the town's pump stations. The wastewater treatment upgrades are required to meet the conditions of the Maine Department of Environmental Protection's draft discharge permit.
An update now on the Hamden Municipal Review Committee. The executive director says they are considering bids. Michael Carroll says a solicitation letter was sent out looking for new investors of the Hamden Waste Facility. Back in January, Revere Capital Advisors was not able to complete the closing and also did not have the next financial investment for the MRC to remain on track to reopen the trash plant. So after sending out around a dozen letters to potential investors, Carroll says the MRC received more than half back. It is expected that the board will be able to vet the candidates and have some more concrete news by the week of March 6th. We know many towns are hopeful to have this resolved so the trash processing plant can reopen this year. It was supposed to open a while ago, but they keep running into problems there.
Yep. Well, the time now is 6:10. Coming up next on Good Morning Maine, a local preservation committee has popped up in the town of Patton, and they have an uphill battle ahead of them as they work to collectively preserve one of the town's oldest buildings.
But first, another check of our weather forecast. Snow will be developing as the day rolls along today. The highs will be up near 29 degrees. Snow will continue through the night, the lows dropping down to around 23. Tomorrow, the snow will come to an end before we see the sun return. The highs tomorrow, a very mild 40 degrees.
At Living Innovations, we build community. You can be a part of it. We put supporting people first, and that builds a caring community within our workforce and for the people we serve. Living Innovations supports people with disabilities and has flexible work opportunities available. You could become a shared living provider and work from home, or help support people to be active in the community. To learn more, visit livinginnovations.com and check out our employment and home provider opportunities. Become a part of Living Innovations and be part of a community with a purpose.
Before and bath fitter. Before and bath fitter. If you have a before bath, now's the time to call Bath Fitter to get a beautiful after. With our unique tub over tub process, there's no mess or stress. Spend smart on a beautiful new bath done right, backed by a lifetime warranty. Join over 2 million happy customers who know it just fits. Bath Fitter. Visit bathfitter.com to book your free consultation.
All the nonsense
Fibber
meets no nonsense.
I don't buy it.
Judge Judy.
Weekdays at 5 on ABC 7.
How do you figure that it's not your fault? If not yours, then whose?
Marilyn Millian.
Look, miss.
Don't call me miss, it's Judge.
Well, Miss Judge.
Not Miss Judge, just Judge.
The People's Court.
I like your style, Judge.
All this week at 4 on ABC 7.
The Piscataquis County Emergency Management Agency recently received some new life-saving tools. The county applied for Homeland Security grants that allowed them to purchase 18 automated external defibrillators, or AEDs. The portable life-saving devices provide aid those experiencing cardiac arrest events, and according to the emergency management director, having these units spread out through the county will make response times a lot faster. And whoops, we missed something, sorry. The cost of the devices totaled nearly $15,000, with all of the money coming from the Department of Homeland Security. The units will be in place the next few weeks.
Well, the local preservation committee in Patton is seeing an increase in support to keep its local Baptist church building and make it a landmark. Our Matthew Juronsik has this update.
In wake of Patton's select board voting to demolish the Baptist church, the Save the Church Preservation Committee is seeing an uptick in support in its fight to preserve the building.
I'm receiving lots of communication from people from different states, hearing us on and explaining how some of those things have happened to them and not to give up, but keep trying.
The church was built in 1845, 3 years after the town of Patton was found. The select board announced in September that they were going to flatten the church and replace it with a small park designated as a veterans memorial.
I've had several calls of people inquiring about our next meeting. It really is as if people are coming out of the woodwork.
Patton Select Board Chairman Cody Brackett says he's noticed the increase in support the group's been receiving, but has yet to see a good plan.
we're going to move forward with that. I've talked to the other board members, and unless we get some kind of major updates to show otherwise, that a party has a viable plan to bring this building around and give it a really good use, they would have to do a real comprehensive plan, and present it.
Brackett says if the group can provide a way to address the problems with the church building, he'll consider their plan and see if he can work with them. As the conversation continues, Maine Historic Prevention Coordinator Michael Goebelbane says there are ways the Preservation Committee can strengthen its case to preserve the church.
Once they get it listed, one option they have is there are some grants out there that help with the preservation of these buildings.
In Patton, Matthew Juronsik reporting for ABC7 and Fox 22 News.
The Levant Corner Store is now under new ownership. After 13 years of running the convenience store, Jamie and Jason Clark of Bangor announced they have sold the Levant Corner Store to new owners. In a social media post, Jamie Clark shared that it was time to focus on new endeavors.
COVID has kind of made everybody step back and think about what's really, really important. And when we started this 13 years ago, we had a 4-year-old and a newborn. And now our 4-year-old is driving and our newborn is going to middle school. And we want to soak up every minute that we can.
The Clarks say they wish the new owners, Nishant and Parth Patel, all the best with the store.
We'll take a look at this video from Fort Fairfield. Mandy DeWitt posted this video that she took around 8 o'clock Monday morning. She was riding down from Fort Fairfield when she saw this group of bison escorting a school bus down the road. This isn't the first time this has happened up there, but it is always quite a sight when it does. Local police say they were trying to contact the owner without any luck yesterday. At last report, officials were able to capture 2 of the bison escapees, but one was still on the loose. They're urging people to stay away from the animal if they do see it up there in the Fort Fairfield area. Apparently the owner might be facing some potential charges now for allowing that to happen. They tried to get in touch with the owner. The owner is nowhere to be seen.
Oh.
Luckily, some volunteers went back to the area where they were kept, and they repaired some holes in the fence so they could corral the bison. 2 of them in, one still on the loose.
Oh,
so,
no.
Yeah, quite a sight. I don't think I'd want to run into one on a sidewalk, though.
Or have it run into your car.
Right, right.
Well, the time now is 6:17. After the break, the ice disc in Westbrook that raised international attention in 2019 is back again. We'll have footage of that.
That and more as Good Morning Maine continues.
Autumn of Life Home Care is a great place to work. The team here provided me with all the opportunities and experience necessary to grow within the company, all while working around my busy college schedule. They provided all the necessary licensing and training. It truly was the job that kickstarted my career.
Autumn of Life Home Care in Brewer is a licensed agency with personal support specialists.
Let our compassionate, reliable, considerate caregivers make your life a little easier by providing assistance for you or your loved one.
Autumn of Life Home Care. We focus on you. Apply today.
XL Week is back. And once again runs the gamut of emotions.
There's so much going on here. I'm exhausted.
Plus, can Mary Ann keep it together?
I would love N.
Okay.
And
you played basketball against Michael Jordan.
I did when I was 15 years old.
Find out if Mickey scored on MJ.
Weekdays at 7 on ABC7.
This week on Jeopardy! Teen Tournament alumni back together again.
It's a little bit of like a Jeopardy bonding moment.
The first ever high school reunion tournament continues.
Deep breath.
Who will win the grand prize of $100,000?
Oh, goodness me. Okay.
And a spot in the 2023 Tournament of Champions.
I know, it's amazing.
Find out this week on Jeopardy!
This week at 7:30, only on ABC7.
The Aroostook Center Mall in Presque Isle has closed indefinitely. In a press release from the general manager, Bruce Brigham, he said effective January 27th, the Aroostook Central Mall is closed until further notice due to non-payments for electric and water. The responsibility to pay for these services lies with the organization Kohan Retail Investment Group. Brigham said in the release that every attempt to communicate with the organization has failed, and he's left with no other option than to close. He said, quote, "I'm embarrassed that I work for a company that would do this to their tenants, customers, employees, and the community that they're supposed to serve."
All right, well, take a look at this one. The Westbrook Ice Disc is back on the Presumscot River. You may remember back in 2019 when a giant, perfectly formed ice circle gained some international attention. Westbrook city officials say the disc forms from the churning current created by the waterfall north of the disc, which flows differently since the city removed an old dam there a few years ago. And while this new disc hasn't created quite the stir as the one did a few years ago, locals tell us they're impressed by the sight.
Well, the first year when it was a huge phenomenon, I felt fortunate that I was out here right away because like I said, I have a property here. And other than that, it was just cool to see it. I brought my grandkids once to see it. I still stop when I notice it because it's unique. Yeah, it's just cool to see it. This floating iceberg in the middle of the river.
Out there too.
Yeah.
I love those natural things that kind of happen.
I know. I have to see that for myself.
Yeah.
The time now is 6:20.
Let's get a full look at our weather forecast with Devin.
Alrighty, Craig and Emma, thank you very much. Your full weather forecast brought to you by Crosby Sports Shop. With a large supply of ammo in stock, custom Damascus knives, fishing supplies of all kinds, concealed weapons classes, and a full line of Dragonfly UV tackle, plus the latest in ultraviolet tackle. Call today. Here we are this morning. We have advisories in effect. Let's break all this down. We have winter weather advisories posted until about 9 a.m. on your Wednesday, at least here in Washington County. Further off towards the south and west, a winter storm warning posted until 4 a.m. on Wednesday for the snow that's going to be moving in. Some significant accumulations taking place there. And we're going to be watching for these alerts along the coastline as well, courtesy of this system, mainly courtesy of the wind as well. So closer toward the shoreline here, we do have a small craft advisory that's posted until about 5 a.m. on Wednesday. Then this other shade right here in my hands that is a gale warning posted until about 9 p.m. as we head towards the Tuesday, so we do have our eye on that as well. So let's take a look at the wave heights right now, right around 3 to 4 feet according to some of the buoys. So we'll see this increasing, especially with our next system that's starting to move in now. And with that in mind, though, we're seeing the snow moving in from the west, going toward the east. Doesn't look like much, at least at this point, but we'll see accumulating snow starting in the western parts of the state pretty much now. It'll drag off towards the north and east throughout the daytime period. Bangor, by about midday, you'll start to see some of this, then off towards the north and east afternoon as we do proceed forward. Here's the system right here, tracking from the southwest going toward the north and east. We'll get this through later on tonight, and then by tomorrow we'll have a little bit more snow, mainly during the morning period, but we'll melt some snow as well as temperatures make it into the lower 40s. So futurecast for today, by about midday or so, we'll start seeing this moving in toward the Bangor area and beyond. Further off towards the east, we'll see the snow moving through. Everyone in the state will see some kind of snow before we're all finished up. By Wednesday morning, a few leftover snow showers. We'll get that out of here, and the clouds will break up for a while to reveal some sunshine. And then by Wednesday evening, more clouds begin to move in as we have another system that will begin to move in. This one could be a rain-snow mixture, though, with a warmer temperature profile to keep an eye on. So with this system that we have our eye on, we're going to be watching in general, but for about 4 to 6 inches in a few spots before we're all finished up, with lesser amounts further off towards the north and east, maybe around 2 to 4 inches, at least in the eastern parts of the state, but 4 to 5, maybe up to 6 inches further off towards the south and west before we're all finished up there. And then there's another system we have our eye on as well, and we have to watch that system as we head towards your Thursday morning with rain and snow possible there. And then another system on the way as we do head toward the weekend. This one looks a little bit more impressive now with this run, so we'll need to keep an eye on this, especially as we head towards your Saturday. Forecast for today, 29 degrees, snow likely 1 to 3 inches, east wind at about 25 miles per hour. By tonight, 23 degrees, snow likely again about another 1 to 3 inches on top of that. The east wind getting up to about 5 to 10 miles per hour. Tomorrow, 40 degrees, some morning snow showers, then mostly cloudy, northwest wind at about 5 miles per hour. Alrighty, here's a look at your extended forecast brought to you by Crosby Sports Shop. Rain and snow chances for you Thursday, highs in the low 40s, lower 30s Friday with a partly cloudy sky, and more snow on the way for you Saturday, highs in the upper 20s.
When you're ready to tackle your next building project, depend on the knowledge and experience of Hammond Lumber Company. Hammond's Home Planning Center will turn your ideas into accurate conceptual drawings, and 3D visualization is available. Your Hammond sales rep will prepare a materials list and cost estimate. And when you buy all of your materials from them, Hammond will refund all of your design fees. Hammond can deliver your order from any of their 22 locations across Maine and New Hampshire. Hammond Lumber Company, your building project partner since 1953.
At Hood, our love for New England inspired New England Creamery. We make it with premium Hood milk and cream, then we overload it with the good stuff. Like Green Mountain Mint Chip with a rich fudgy swirl. Maine Sweet Blueberry with real delicious blueberries. And Cape Cod Fudge Shop, packed with fudgy truffles. Hood's New England Creamery, from Hood, for New England. Try all 13 flavors.
This week, Michael's taking you live to one of the most remote inhabited islands anywhere in the world. An island filled with mystery, beauty, and magical wonder. Easter Island Live. You're invited for the Morning Global event. Good Morning America this week.
I came to play. What about you?
You bet your life.
I immediately regret going to this.
Well, you got $100 if you don't get it.
Uniting us.
I'm all for it because you're an amazing partner.
Awesome.
Yeah, you guys are a good team. With big laughs.
I did my own hair.
You got me?
All we need is glue and hair.
And fast-paced fun.
You got all the money.
Every weekday.
On ABC 7.
There's one number you need to know. It's called Joe.
Only minor injuries from an 18-car pileup in New York State. It happened yesterday morning on Route 9W South, that's Storm at King Mountain, about 60 miles north of New York City. One person was taken to a hospital with minor injuries. The roads were icy, but there's no official word on what caused the crash. Police are investigating.
More than 1 million Americans died during the COVID-19 pandemic, which started more than 3 years ago. U.S. intelligence agencies are still searching for answers. From the beginning, Chinese officials have, to some degree, prevented full investigations. But now a U.S. agency is reportedly changing its mind on how the virus originated. Fox's Lauren Blanchard has more.
The Energy Department has decided with low confidence that the coronavirus may have started from an accidental lab leak in China, according to a report by the Wall Street Journal.
The intelligence community and the rest of the government is still looking at this. There's not been a definitive conclusion.
China has come under more international scrutiny recently after the spy balloon over the U.S. and Beijing considering selling weapons to Russia.
I do hope that this is part of a strategy to hold China in check.
It's going to have a deleterious impact for sure on that U.S.-Chinese relationship, no doubt about it.
In the report, the Energy Department pointed toward undisclosed new intelligence for shifting their position. They, along with the FBI, point toward a lab leak. Other departments still believe the virus was transmitted naturally.
What you're going to find is that the entire intelligence community will reach that assessment because our intelligence very clearly supports that assessment.
Chinese officials say the U.S. is trying to play politics with the pandemic.
As we are getting briefed and updated, the president is, we'll certainly share that with Congress and the American people. But the president believes that it is important that we get to the bottom of this, but we need to be prepared for the potentially another pandemic.
Meanwhile, some Republicans in Congress want to investigate why many U.S. officials dismissed the lab leak theory early on.
We need to see what our government knew and why they were censoring people.
4 other U.S. agencies say COVID-19 was likely the result of natural transmission. 2 others are still undecided. In Washington, Lauren Blanchard, Fox News.
President Biden's plan to cancel $1 million of student loan debt faces a critical test today at the U.S. Supreme Court. Oral arguments begin this morning as 40 million Americans wait to find out whether the president will be allowed to wipe away or reduce their student loan debt. At the heart of the case is whether the president has the legal authority to move forward with the plan. ABC's Faith Abube is in Washington with the latest.
Overnight, a group of demonstrators braving the winter cold and rain outside the U.S. Supreme Court, camping out for a front row seat inside the courtroom when oral arguments begin today on President Biden's ambitious student loan forgiveness plan. College freshman Ibrahim Mudassar speaking directly to the justices.
You can help 40 million other people in the United States and jumpstart their path to freedom as well.
A few progressive congressional Democrats firing up the crowd.
The president has the authority to cancel student debt, period.
Lawyers for 2 individual borrowers in 6 Republican-led states set to argue that the plan President Biden announced last August to cancel billions of dollars in student loans for more than 40 million Americans is a gross overreach of his executive powers.
We're going to fight to defend the rule of law and defend the Constitution.
The plan is a key Biden campaign promise and would cancel up to $10,000 in student loans for individuals earning less than $125,000 a year, $20,000 if they were recipients of Pell Grants.
Joe Biden had no legal authority whatsoever. It's illegal. It's also unfair to the folks who paid for their college, who didn't go to college.
My administration is making our case in the Supreme Court, and I'm confident the legal authority to carry out that plan is there.
The latest Quinnipiac poll shows a majority of Americans support the student loan forgiveness plan.
It is a lingering, looming cloud of worry and anxiety for so many Americans.
And the justices are expected to release their decision by June. Student loan repayments remain on hold until that ruling comes down.
Well, meanwhile, drone footage newly released by the Ukrainian military purports to show Russian tanks and other armored fighting vehicles being blown up by mines or stopped in their tracks by Ukrainian strikes as they try and approach the Donetsk city of Baheldar. In one section of the video, a Russian tank makes its way along a road. There's an explosion, and then a soldier appears to emerge from the tank before jumping off and running away. Another sequence appears to show a number of vehicles stopped in the tracks at the crossroads on the blasted crater terrain. Following one explosion, which the Ukrainian military says is a vehicle being destroyed by Ukrainian artillery, an approaching tank turns around and drives away. Battlefields around Baheldar, southwest of Bakhmut, and also in the Donetsk region are bearing witness to the precious equipment and manpower that Russia is expending with little territorial gain for now.
Vice President Kamala Harris says the Biden administration will help bring high-speed and affordable internet to every community. The vice president visited South Carolina Monday, where she delivered those remarks at Benedict College in Columbia. Harris outlined the administration's efforts to help families get and pay for high-speed access as part of the Affordable Connectivity Program. The program can help eligible households get $30 off each month on those internet bills, and it gives discounts to certain families for the purchase of laptops or tablets.
The internet is an essential part of everyday modern life. And yet, more than 24 million American households still do not have internet access, including 137,000 families right here in South Carolina, either because they cannot afford the cost of high-speed internet or because they live in a community, often a rural community, where high-speed internet is just not available.
The Affordable Connectivity Program is part of the President's Biden bipartisan infrastructure law. And still to come here on the second half of our show, a Bass Harbor artist is turning trash into treasures.
We'll get a glimpse of this and more as Good Morning Maine continues.
Stay tuned to get 2 rolls of Alien Tape free. You heard that right. Free. Alien Tape presents You Wouldn't, But You Could. You wouldn't stick your mother-in-law on the wall, but you could with Alien Tape. It just sticks. Just peel and stick to make anything stay in place quick. Wood, metal, concrete, mirror, and glass. It's the permanent solution for hanging pictures on the wall fast. Brick, pavers, marble, tile, plastic, even leather. Nothing works better than Alien Tape. You wouldn't stick your fishbowl on a moving car, but you could with Alien Tape. You wouldn't stick all your living room furniture on the ceiling, but you could with Alien Tape. Look at that. The secret is nano-stick technology that grabs and locks on to secure one side of the surface to the other. Alien Tape holds up to 17.5 pounds. Alien Tape is your hang and hold friend around the house. At your home office desk, Alien Tape works best. Here you can't use nails or screws, but you can use Alien Tape. It sticks and stays and then lifts away without damage. Alien Tape is built to hang and hold this rack loaded with spice, then twist, pull, and rinse to reuse. It securely locks down things that move around. Even rugs firmly stick to the ground. Alien Tape is tough enough to survive outdoors. Securely hang yard tools, grill equipment, and outdoor decorations that change with the seasons. Just peel and stick to hang anything quick. Call or go online to get your first roll of Alien Tape for the special TV discount price of just $19.99, plus shipping and processing. But to make this deal really stick, we'll give you 2 more rolls absolutely free. You get 3 rolls of Alien Tape for one low price. You're dying to try it. Here's your chance to buy it.
To order, call 1-800-336-3409. That's 1-800-336-3409, or go to tryalientape.com. So call 1-800-336-3409 or order online at tryalientape.com.
You're watching ABC 7 Bangor.
Welcome back, everyone. Well, today is Tuesday, February 28th, 2023. The arrival of spring is just 20 days away now, which I thought was appropriate as we get ready for another winter storm today.
Yeah. Happy last day of February, by the way.
Oh, that's right.
We made it.
It's going by fast.
Yep.
We had 2 choices for days today. It was like National Chocolate Souffle Day or National Sleep in Public Day, which I thought was kind of funny.
Yeah.
But, you know, I'm all for taking a nap out in public.
Well, I've never
and
had a souffle, so I guess that's my only option.
So have some souffle and take a little nippy nap somewhere, you know. Why not, you know?
You may have to after you have a chocolate bomb like that.
Right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, on this day in history, in 1993, a gun battle erupted when federal agents attempted to storm the Branch Davidian compound in Waco, Texas, sparking a 51-day standoff. In 1991, the first Gulf War ended when Iraq surrendered and began to withdraw from Kuwait. And in 1935, nylon was invented and now is used from everything from car parts to pantyhose. It really changed a lot. And in 1983, the final episode of the popular television show MASH ended and was the most watched episode in history.
People were so sad when that happened, too. Been watching it for, a long time there.
Right.
Today's birthdays include country singer Jason Aldean, who is 46, actor John Turturro is 66, racing great Mario Andretti is 83, and Pat Monahan from the group Train is 54 years old. A couple of those performers have performed here in Bangor in recent years.
Yeah, I seem to remember that. I think the Andretti family is still active with Formula One stuff.
Yeah, I think there's an Andretti Jr. out there doing it, something like that. I don't follow racing too closely. But
I don't at all.
Yeah.
But somehow I know that. So they're that big.
Yeah.
Hey, as far as the weather goes, it's looking like it's moving in pretty quick.
Moving in, not a big storm, but probably around noontime today we'll start seeing some snowflakes, and then we'll have some light snow on and off throughout the night.
Yep.
What are they saying, like 2 to 4 inches now maybe of around here?
So. Right. I know we were saying this time last week and it was a little lackluster, but this one seems more promising.
Yeah, and later on in the week, I guess we're going to get another storm, so lots of winter left.
Fun. Here's Devin Biggs with the forecast.
And thank you very much, Craig and Emma. Happy Tuesday. Your first weather forecast brought to you by Crosby Sports Shop. With a large supply of ammo in stock, custom Damascus knives, fishing supplies of all kinds, concealed weapons classes, and a full line of Dragonfly UV tackle, plus the latest in ultraviolet tackle. Call today. All right, let's get into things this morning. The winter weather advisories have been expanded. They've even issued a few winter storm warnings onto the south and west as well. Those winter storm warnings will expire Wednesday morning at around 4 a.m. The winter weather advisory until about 9 a.m., at least here in parts of Washington County. And further down toward the south as well, more advisories continue to get issued as well. We'll at least pull up one of them right now. It looks like we're also dealing with a small craft advisory closer toward the shoreline, and that will remain up until about 5 a.m. on Wednesday. And this right here is also a gale warning until about 9 p.m. as we head towards Tuesday. So later on tonight, in other words, though, so we do have some active weather that we do have our eye on. But for now, we're watching snow that's developing right now, tracking from the southwest, going toward the north and east, moving in very slowly. So the western parts of the state will see this before noon today, then Bangor by about the midday period, and everyone else after afternoon, we'll start seeing us moving in from the west going toward the east. Let's zoom things out and give you the bigger picture. Here's that system right here moving from the west going toward the east. We'll get some snowfall on the way before we're all finished up. So your hourly forecast for the rest of the morning and afternoon period. Increasing cloud snow showers getting going during the afternoon period. Temperatures in the 20s. Your full 5-day forecast is coming up. Craig and Emma.
Thank you, Devin.
All right, well, a woman from Bass Harbor is literally turning trash into one-of-a-kind treasures. Mariah Reading rhymes with, let's see, what's that say there?
No, that was...
Mariah Reading, okay, I'm reading too much there. Uses discarded items to create beautiful landscape paintings. And as Jody Hersey tells us, this environmentalist believes that she has found her calling.
I like to see this as like its second life or something, to repurpose, forgotten objects that are seen as kind of ugly, and definitely an eyesore and, contributing to pollution.
Mariah Reading is an eco-artist. She credits her artistic family with her love of painting. Her dad is an architect, her brother a muralist, and she herself is a landscape artist.
Me and my brother grew up going to Windover art camp in Newburgh, Maine, which, looking back now, really connected me with art and the outdoors.
What most people see as trash, Reading sees as an opportunity.
Paint one side of the object and leave the reverse unpainted, because I want the object to remain present, and I want people hopefully to recognize themselves within these trashed items.
Reading says there truly isn't anything that she can't use as a canvas.
Half cracked off buoys, all the way to, I'm painting on the inside of a car door right now, a bike seat, a saw blade back there. So I never really know what I'm going to come across, and I think that's part of the interest.
When she's not painting, Reading works as a seasonal environmental interpreter or park ranger, where she finds an unlimited amount of inspiration.
So I move from national park to national park each summer. I, for one, am nowhere near being zero waste, so I like to think of my paintings as little reminders, little, hopefully nudges to, make small changes in your life to be more sustainable.
In Bass Harbor, I'm Jody Hersey for ABC 7 and Fox 22 News.
We'll be right back with sports.
Harris Lumber is locally owned and has been serving the Pequot region for more than 50 years. See them for all your projects, big or small. Customer service is their #1 priority. And with a full line of lumber and hardware items, they can also deliver to your job site. Harris Lumber, Milo.
What can your John Deere compact tractor do? Attachments for any job. Financing that's as easy as...
like getting a library card.
Affordable.
You're going to get this bigger tractor, and it's going to be less money.
Dependable.
Through the rain, through the snow, I'll work through it all.
Comfortable.
And I haven't any idea how we survive without it.
Experience United and build a tractor package customized for you.
Angie's List is losing the list. From now on, it's just Angie.
So what happens to all the people that needed the list?
Oh yeah, everything still works. We just made it better. We even let you book services instantly now.
Start your home project at Angie.com.
I smoked a pack a day for 45 years. When my doctor suggested lung cancer screening, I wasn't sure I wanted to know the results.
If you're age 55 or older and smoke now or smoked heavily in the past, ask your provider if lung cancer screening is right for you.
When my first screening came up clear, what a relief.
A new test can find it earlier when treatment is more successful.
I quit smoking a few years ago, but I plan on being screened every year.
Local news weeknights at 6 with Beth Jones and Peter Dubois on ABC 7.
Welcome back in, everyone. Thank you for staying with us. A busy week of high school hoops is behind us, but we are still going to start our coverage on the hardwood. On Wednesday, Maine women's basketball kicks off their postseason play. They're looking to get back to that conference championship game. The Black Bears head into the America East tournament as the number 3 seed in the conference, so they will host at least a quarterfinal matchup with Binghamton. That's Wednesday's game. Maine is coming into the playoffs riding 2 straight wins, actually ending the season with a victory over the Bearcats on Saturday. So they'll get them for the second time in 5 days this week, and they know they need to be better than they were on Saturday to pull this one out.
There were a lot of things that we need to improve on, mostly defensively, and I feel like these 2 days that we have, we'll really focus on those and come better prepared on Wednesday.
They have great guard play. Danae Bowman is one of the best players in the league, and then you have their freshman point guard who's playing really, really well, and they have great pieces. So they're a really good team. They play hard.
Now, the Black Bears were without defending Conference Player of the Year and Defensive Player of the Year Ann Simon for much of conference play, but she has been back for these final 2 games of the season. She's averaging 18.5 over those 2 games. And while her presence was still felt on the bench, everyone, including Ann, is just glad to have her back out on the floor.
It's amazing. I definitely miss it. I miss playing here in this gym and with the teammates. It's fun.
When she was injured, she was such a big part of this team. Like, she knows the offense inside and out. Just having her voice, like, it's different coming from a player than a coach because she knows, like, how it works for us on the court. And having her back is just not only, like, her having almost 20 points when she came back her first game, but having, like, however many steals she had just defensively is just amazing to have.
Prior to her coming back, I can't remember a time we got a steal for a layup. You know, it's just things like that you forget that she can do, and just so strong and quick.
All right, that should be a good one. The pit should be popping there on Wednesday. Let's stay with some basketball now. There were some real good regional tournaments this past week and some awesome championships this past weekend. So that leaves us with 20 teams left and 10 gold balls to be handed out. Let's check out those matchups. We're going to start with the boys. The AA matchup between Portland and South Portland will be down in Portland at 8:45 on Saturday. Brewer and Falmouth play it at 7:45 on Friday at the Augusta Civic Center for the Class A gold ball. In Class B, Orono and Oceanside battle for the title at 2:45. That's also in Portland on Saturday. Classes C and D are in Bangor. The Class C matchup with Dirigo and Calais is the late one at 8:45, and the Southern Aristic Forest Hills rematch will be played in the afternoon slate at 2:45. For the girls now, the AA game between Oxford Hills and Gorham, that's at 7 on Saturday in Portland. Lawrence and Brunswick battle at 6 p.m. before the Brewer game at the Augusta Civic Center on Friday for Class A. Ellsworth takes on Spruce Mountain at 1 p.m. on Saturday in Portland at the Cross Arena down there. And then again, Class C and D are in Bangor. The Class C is the late one between Dexter and Old Orchard Beach. That's at 7 on Saturday at the Cross Center, with the Class D girls game between Southern Aristic and Seacoast Christian being played at 1 p.m. at the Cross. So we will have those highlights for you guys when they happen, and plenty of state championship previews all week. Let's go to the baseball diamond now. The season is underway for Maine baseball as they look to repeat as regular season champs. They got off to a very hot start, just to be humbled a little bit in that second weekend. The Black Bears won their opening weekend series, taking the final 2 of 3 games at Pittsburgh, a team that head coach Nick Durba said was probably more talented on paper than his Black Bears. It was their first opening weekend win since 2008, their first series win in February since 17, so a big one for Maine. And then in week 2, it looked more of the same. They took a 9-0 lead in game 1 against Monmouth, just to lose 15-14 and drop their next 2. But Durba says dealing with this adversity this early in the year only helps his squad regroup.
Right, this is the time for us to gain our identity. You know, we don't get the chance to do that much in the fall, right? Because you're not really playing outside competition. You don't really have too many ups and downs. You know, and to start out on such a high note, right? And then to immediately drop, you know, to probably a very low point already within the first 2 weeks of the season. This gives us a chance to really refocus and realign our identity and just say, hey, look, like, we haven't changed. We got to keep going forward. And let's deal with these things now.
All right, a couple more non-conference weekends on the road, and then they'll be back up here on Mahaney Diamond in no time. That's when all the snow will be melted and the sun will be out, and we'll all be happy. That's all the time we have for sports. We'll be right back after the break.
Leona May's Antique and Gift Shop is now open in Newport. Our unique building is a converted 1800s single-family home that we've given a new life to. A home for treasures, from antiques, collectibles, unique gifts, and so much more. Come make the rounds throughout the many rooms on all 3 floors as you wander back in time or find a unique gift that's perfect for that special someone or that hard to buy for a relative. So come visit us today. Leona Mays Antique and Gift Shop, 147 Main Street, Newport.
Every year, tens of thousands of older Mainers are abused or taken advantage of, usually by a trusted family member. Don't sign away your home. Even if promised, you can still live there. Don't hand over your checkbook or credit card. Don't sign legal papers like a loan document or power of attorney without talking to a lawyer first. Protect yourself, your assets, your independence. Free, confidential legal advice is just a phone call away. Call Legal Services for the Elderly.
Let's celebrate winter by spending the day outdoors. Join us at Hirundo Wildlife Refuge for our Winter Fun Day, Saturday, March 4th from 10 till 2 for a day of activities you won't want to miss, including ice sculpting and the popular ice fishing with Hooked On Fishing program. Have you ever wanted to enter a biathlon or try your hand at curling or snowshoeing? Now is your chance. Enjoy food and drink while visiting activity booths. Learn more about nature and some of the signs of the season. For tickets and more information, go to hirundomaine.org.
Welcome back, everyone. Twitter cut more jobs over the weekend.
Amazon is expanding its same-day delivery service, and Nokia gets a new look. Fox's CJ Papa has those stories and more in today's Fox Business Briefs.
Another 200 people are reportedly laid off from Twitter in the latest round of job cuts. Twitter is now reportedly down to under 2,000 employees from 7,500 when Elon Musk took over as CEO in October. Amazon expanding its ultra-fast delivery options as it also tries to cut expenses. The tech giant is devoting resources to facilities and services in efforts to deliver packages to customers in less than a day. Amazon will charge Prime subscription members a fee of $2.99 per order if customers don't meet a $25 minimum. If you're looking for the best bang for your buck for a quick meal, you may want to skip Panera and Shake Shack. According to a new survey, meals from Panera run an average of $14.76. But most people surveyed, 97%, said it was Shake Shack that offered the worst value. The average cost of a meal at Shake Shack is $13.30, about $5 higher than an average meal from Chick-fil-A. And Nokia plans to change its brand identity for the first time in almost 60 years. Its new logo features 5 different shapes forming the company's name. Nokia says the move is part of an effort to shift consumer perception of the brand. That's business. I'm CJ Papa.
All right, as we said earlier, a little snow moving into the area today.
Here's meteorologist Evan Biggs with our full weather forecast.
Alrighty, Craig and Emma, thank you very much. Your full weather forecast brought to you by Crosby Sports Shop. With a large supply of ammo in stock, custom Damascus knives, fishing supplies of all kinds, concealed weapons classes, and a full line of Dragonfly UV tackle, plus the latest in ultraviolet tackle. Call today. Here we are this morning. We have advisories in effect. Let's break all this down. We have winter weather advisories posted until about 9 a.m. on your Wednesday, at least here in Washington County. Further off towards the south and west, a winter storm warning posted until 4 a.m. on Wednesday for the snow that's going to be moving in. Some significant accumulations taking place there. And we're going to be watching for these alerts along the coastline as well, courtesy of this system, mainly courtesy of the wind as well. So closer toward the shoreline here, we do have a small craft advisory that's posted until about 5 a.m. on Wednesday. And this other shade right here in my hands, that is a gale warning posted until about 9 p.m. as we head towards the Tuesday, so we do have our eye on that as well. So let's take a look at the wave heights right now, right around 3 to 4 feet according to some of the buoys. So we'll see this increasing, especially with our next system is starting to move in now. And with that in mind, though, we're seeing it still moving in from the west, going toward the east. Doesn't look like much, at least at this point, but we'll see accumulating snow starting in the western parts of the state pretty much now. It'll drag off towards the north and east throughout the daytime period. Bangor, by about midday, you'll start to see some of this, then off towards the north and east afternoon as we do proceed forward. Here's the system right here, tracking from the southwest going toward the north and east. We'll get this through later on tonight, and then by tomorrow we'll have a little bit more snow, mainly during the morning period, but we'll melt some snow as well as temperatures make it into the lower 40s. So futurecast for today, by about midday or so, we'll start seeing this moving in toward the Bangor area and beyond. Further off towards the east, we'll see the snow moving through. Everyone in the state will see some kind of snow before we're all finished up. By Wednesday morning, a few leftover snow showers. We'll get that out of here, and the clouds will break up for a while to reveal some sunshine. And then by Wednesday evening, more clouds begin to move in as we have another system that will begin to move in. This one could be a rain-snow mixture, though, with a warmer temperature profile to keep an eye on. So with this system that we have our eye on, no, we're going to be watching in general, but for about 4 to 6 inches in a few spots before we're all finished up, with lesser amounts further off towards the north and east, maybe around 2 to 4 inches, at least in the eastern parts of the state, but 4 to 5, maybe up to 6 inches further off towards the south and west before we're all finished up there. And then there's another system we have our eye on as well, and we have to watch that system, no, as we head towards your Thursday morning with rain and snow possible there. And then another system on the way as you do head toward the weekend. This one looks a little bit more impressive now with this run, so we'll need to keep an eye on this, especially as we head towards your Saturday. Forecast for today, 29 degrees, snow likely 1 to 3 inches, east wind at about 25 miles per hour. By tonight, 23 degrees, snow likely again about another 1 to 3 inches on top of that. The east wind getting up to about 5 to 10 miles per hour. Tomorrow, 40 degrees, some morning snow showers, then mostly cloudy, northwest wind at about 5 miles per hour. Alrighty, here's a look at your extended forecast brought to you by Crosby Sports Shop. Rain and snow chances for your Thursday, highs in the low 40s, lower 30s Friday with a partly cloudy sky, and more snow on the way for your Saturday, highs in the upper 20s.
Bath remodeling was revolutionized in this garage in 1984 when three brothers created the iconic bath fitter tub-over-tub process. A breakthrough then, the industry standard now for beautiful baths without the mess, stress, or high cost. A better way from Bath Fitter means precise measurement, the highest quality acrylic, perfect preparation, and watertight installation backed by a lifetime warranty. Bath Fitter, it just fits. Visit bathfitter.com to book your free consultation.
Bucksport Regional Health Center has cared for the community for almost 50 years. We are trusted and compassionate providers. We have also given thousands of COVID-19 vaccines because the COVID-19 vaccine is very safe, very effective, and your best shot at protecting yourself from COVID. Trust us. Trust the vaccine. Protect yourself. Take your shot against COVID-19.
Mossy Ledge Spirits is a true hidden gem in Etna. Located just 3 miles off I-95, exit 167, we are home to tastings, tours, cocktails, to-go drinks, bottles, live music, minis, and priceless memories. You're sure to fall in love with our handcrafted, unique, and deliciously clean-tasting spirits and feel right at home in our family-friendly environment. Mossy's Mobile Spirits is offering mobile bar service for weddings and large events. So enjoy some pizza and raise the glass here at Mossy Ledge Spirits.
Dedication, teamwork, and passion has driven your team to the state championships. Now it's time to cheer them on. Coastal Auto Parts has what you need to get to the big game. Get up and go Eagles!
In the tradition of Monk and Columbo, meet Will Trent.
Seemed like a great guy to me.
The investigation is on.
We are solving this thing. Always.
New Will Trent, tonight on ABC.
Right. Oh, no rejoin. Here we are. Well, PETA says they've rescued more than 100 cats, dogs, and other pets from the devastating earthquake in Turkey. The nonprofit releasing footage of their crews finding the critters among the rubble and bringing them to safety. Many have been trapped in buildings or simply left behind during the tragedy. On February 6th, the magnitude 7.8 earthquake killed over 47,000 people in Turkey and Syria. The road to rebuilding will be long. Turkish authorities say over 170,000 buildings were severely damaged or collapsed. So it's always good to see that some people can get their pets home as well, despite all of that.
It's always one of the things that you kind of forget about sometimes, all the animals involved with it, but it's nice there's people out there helping out.
Definitely, definitely. That's all for us this hour. Good Morning America is next on ABC 7. If you missed anything, head to foxbangor.com.
All right, and have a great day.
If you're a Medicare beneficiary and live in the area, call now to see how this little card could get you some big benefits, including up to $840 added back to your Social Security check each year. With one toll-free call, you can find out how easy it is to get all of your original Medicare coverage, plus extra benefits. You get an all-in-one plan designed to fit your needs so you can be your best every day. You could have medical coverage, prescription drugs with $0 generics, dental, vision and hearing, plus the WellCare Visa Flex Card to pay for extra dental, vision, and hearing expenses, money for over-the-counter items, and up to $840 back in your Social Security check each year. And so much more. And here's more good news. You can get a WellCare plan for a $0 monthly premium. How can WellCare offer all of those benefits for a $0 monthly premium? It's simple. Medicare Advantage and Medicare Part D prescription drug coverage are important parts of Medicare. WellCare has a